doing the renovation of this, or that was right before you got here, I believe. But you've done a lot of great things for the college, a lot of improvement of the plant, and he's grown the enrollment enormously. And we just are very happy with his presidency. And important for us, he's also been a great friend and supporter of WISE. And so I'm happy to introduce you to President Docking.
Well, I'm going to keep my remarks very, very short because John tells me I can stay for the next session. Is that what you call it? Paper? I'd like to
see a presentation from Colonel Littrell on the end there.
Gotcha. Well, hopefully I can stay through some of that. We have a meeting coming up. But I did want to come and say welcome on behalf of Adrian College. We are delighted that you are here, and we want to be good hosts. And so I trust that you'll tell Professor Eichler or myself if there's anything that we can do. I think it needs to be a little cooler in this room, by the way. I'm not complaining myself. So maybe we can get that done before this next session is over. If you'll indulge me just for a minute, a little bit about myself. 4 children, 26, 24, 22, and 18. My wife and I moved here, as Professor Eichler said, about 8.5, 9 years ago. My own graduate work is in Martin Luther King. I spent a fair amount of time looking at nonviolence and how do we solve our problems without resorting to shooting at each other. And I'm a big supporter of the military. I just told the general in the back that I spent a week 2 summers ago with the Navy SEALs and on a nuclear sub. And it was one of the most exciting weeks of my life. And so I balanced my desire to try to find ways to non-violently solve problems with the reality of the world that we're living in. Which leads me to what I just love about this group. And the minute John told me about it, how many years ago now, John? 7 years ago. 7 years ago. That this is a group that believes in dialogue. And this is a group that believes in speaking across the aisle. And in ideology, speaking across ideologies. And it's a group that understands in your 250 odd daily discussions, I got daily discussions of 250 correspondents, yes, often, from 30 different nations, that's exactly what we need. And you'll have people from the far left, people on the far right, and you'll be talking across boundaries. And in my opinion, that is going to have to be the way that we go forward as a planet. And you know, from what's going on in Syria to Afghanistan and the 100 other odd wars out there at any given moment, international understanding has got to be where so much of our time should be focused as a human race. And when I look at the membership of this group, when I looked at the board of directors of this group, it was truly just a who's who of intellect and international understanding that, again, just made me want to welcome you to our campus. So I have a personal interest in what you're doing. It's very important work. It's work that I think our students need to be very aware of. And it's something that I hope will just continue to grow, change, expand, and be the way forward. And so I thank you for your involvement. I do have to say one other thing, that the themes of what is now and what now is also a very interesting play on words that is also fascinating. And I hope that, again, if I can stay for a paper or two, some of that will rise to the surface. Because the other thing that I noticed about this group as I was reading through this on your website was there seems to be very much a practical application of what you talk about. It's not all sort of in the head, up in the clouds. I mean, I kept wanting to say, as I read and listened to the types of things that go on here, how do we make this real? And that's what I take from this title. So, thank you. And I certainly can answer any questions, but I'm assuming that we'll go into whatever's next, unless people have questions.
Is there a question for President Docking? Big round of applause. Thank you so much, Jeff, for mentioning our title of the conference.
Excuse me, are you a member of WISE?
Sorry?
Are you a member?
I'm not, but anytime John would recruit me, I certainly be willing to join.
I know you're a busy man.
No, I
Okay.
would love to be involved in this organization.
Put you on the mailing list.
What's the fee, John?
You gotta know the super
Is it organized? It's almost like extremely wealthy people.
Absolutely free, although
We're sublime right now.
generous contributions are always cheerfully accepted
Well,
and acknowledged.
All right. Well, I would love to join.
No, that's one thing, ever since our founding, one of Professor Hilton's strong beliefs would be that there would be no mandatory dues.
Really? Okay.
We've actually had that conversation as a board, and we decided to continue respecting that wish.
Well, I noticed it was founded around 63 or 65?
1965.
65, but online for 20 years, right? And so the oldest online discussion around these topics, in 20 years obviously doesn't
We've
seem
been
that long.
online
but-
continuously since the early 90s.
Yeah.
I learned if you call it a blog, he jumps on people. You can't call it, it's a forum.
Thank you. Thank you for warning me. I mean, he gets mad. It's not good.
Forum with a capital F. Another editorial sort of decision I took.
That's it. All right, so can I sit next to you, John? I know there's some stuff there. I don't know if I'm sitting there.
We need to fix our money.
Got that on the schedule.
Actually, it does feel like the air conditioning is just.
Okay, we've more or less caught up.